show you the special way I do it, either would do. Now, in my case, I've already downloaded it, so I'm not actually going to download it as such on this occasion. The next thing I'm going to do is get into my hosting account. Now, you will, from your host, receive details of how to get into your account using FTP, and I use FileZilla for FTP access, and that's a free program, and it's available from here. The version that you need is the client version, so you would download that and install it. If you don't have one, you may already have one. I would go for the executable image. Now I've already downloaded it and installed it, so I'll start it up. I don't know how well this is going to appear on this screen, but we'll see how we go. Okay, here we are, and you enter your host name there, your username and password that you've been provided by your host to access it. Normally you'd leave port blank. You can configure it so that they're automatically available for you, which is what I've done there. So I've got that drop down that automatically logs me into the site. So it was in public HTML, and underneath that was a directory called shop. So that is where we want to download our content. Now, WordPress was downloaded into that directory, so what I'm going to do, and as I say, this is a quicker way of doing the WordPress install than the way specified in WordPress.org. I'm actually going to drag that from my hard disk into the remote site, and that will just take a little while to complete. You can see a progress indication here. I don't know why it's pausing. Right, it seems to have finished. Okay, now what I'm going to do is go back into the control panel, the cPanel access, and these cPanels all tend to look a bit different, but they tend to provide the same services. Right, it looks like I lost the network connection then, but basically what I'm doing is going into my cPanel, and I'm going to select the file manager. So if I click through to the file manager, I'm going to go to directly to shop.flirtcoach.net, directly to that document route. And here's our WordPress. So I'm going to click on that and then click on extract and extract files. Now what that has just done is to extract all these files directly in the server's directory. Now what the WordPress install will tell you to do is extract the files on your computer and then upload them, but that takes ages. So you're much better off doing this. Now there's a problem with this, is that it's been installed into this WordPress folder here. You don't need this anymore, so that can now be deleted. But you do have to move everything from this folder into the parent folder. So I'll just select all the files, and I think there's normally a box that allows you to select all the files quickly, but I don't see it here for some reason. And I'll click on Move File, and I'm going to remove WordPress from the location. Now why can't I see the... Perhaps if I just press enter it'll do the job for me. Okay, I think normally there's a box that says okay, do it, but I think this is not designed for an 800 by 600 screen, which is what I need to use for the webinar. So that will now have moved everything up to the parent folder. So I can get back to that through the list here. Public.html shop it was. And the next thing we've got to do is create a MySQL database. And in order to do that, I just scroll down through the list until I come across databases. Here we are. And if I go to MySQL database wizard, I can create a new database here. So the new database, I can call it, you normally can't use many characters, but I'm going to call it FC Shop and click on next step. You have to specify your username and a password, and you need to make a note of these details. So using something like Notepad, I'll just bring that up, shrink it down a bit. Okay, so the database name was FC Shop. I'm going to use the same username. I've got a 7-character limit. FC Shop will be fine. Now for a password, I'll just use the password generator for this, and it'll come up with something random. I'll actually remove the symbols from it, just because it just makes things a little bit easier. And I can click on Use Password,